I am Phoenix on Purpose, and this is Purpose Not Permission. As you make it your way into the room, please like the video so that it can be distributed throughout YouTube. And if you aren't already, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're listening to the replay, make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the topic. And if you're listening to the audio version on my podcast, be sure to leave it a 5-star rating. So I want to get into the topic tonight of jealousy and envy being deadly sins. In my opinion, jealousy and envy are the deadliest sins of the seven. Social media fosters a space where I think not enough content creators are aware enough, self aware, of themselves and not hyper vigilant enough about protecting their own privacy, their own peace of mind, their own mental well being, and not giving the public more information than need be. I am in a space now where I had to make some recent adjustments in my life yet again. I had to make some recent adjustments, and I am in a space, and this has been for about the last maybe 2 years now, in a space where I am super aware and extremely hyper vigilant. I am hyper vigilant about my safety. I'm hyper vigilant about protecting my peace and my mental sanity. I am hyper vigilant about protecting my physical person, my property. And I am hyper vigilant about protecting, anything around me that I actually love. So, with that said, I think again, um, not enough people realize that you can't call everyone your friend. Everyone is not your friend. Everyone is not in your life for the same reason that you're in their life. And I think if more of us were aware of that, took our time with the people that we vet to come into our lives, to enter our lives, even those that we date, right? With the intention of, whatever the case may be, I think if a lot more people would slow things down, um, we could use our foresight, we could use our discernment to stop a lot of the things that are happening um, to us, as individuals. I'm stumbling a little bit over this topic because there are a lot of points that I want to bring up, and I'm just thinking over the recent situation that I really wasn't going to talk about. I planned on doing a live stream about the young lady who lost her life behind a first date that she had with a gentleman that she'd first met, did not know him, lost her life behind going on a first date with him and going home with him immediately after the first date, not knowing this guy. And he wound up uh, taking her life and dismembering her and spreading her body parts throughout their city. It just the wildest thing. We're not vetting enough. We're not hyper vigilant enough. We're not protective enough over ourselves, our person, our personal well being. Um, the Shanquella Robinson story still haunts me today. I've never spoken publicly about it, but when I saw it, it broke my heart. I don't speak publicly about a lot of things. I am in a space now where I am learning and observing people. I'm learning and observing who people are, how people interact. It's something that I've been blind to for a large portion of my life. I've just been going on about my life, living my life, having my public and private wins in my own life, and needing to move around the characters that were in my life, family and friends and associates, at different times in my life for various reasons. But I was never quite aware enough that. People can simply be envious and jealous of you because you are just alive and breathing and living your life and doing whatever it is that you do that they aren't doing. And for whatever reason, there are some people that I am finding in life who want what other people have, who want to be other people, who idolize other people's lives in such a way that I think is mentally unwell, uh, w- not aware enough of your own gifts, not thankful and grateful enough for the life that God gave you, the fact that we're all walking miracles and that we all have our own unique and creative talents, our special gifts, our own purpose, and being envious or jealous of someone else, what someone has, what someone else is doing, what someone else looks like, the treatment that someone else gets, the favor over other people's lives. Um, Being jealous and envious of that doesn't do anything for your own life. I think that people, again, I call it a mental illness. I think that it is something that needs to be studied a little further, honestly, but it's something that I think that if more of us spoke about, especially women, and I'm going to get into some deep things tonight that I think a lot of people, again, don't think enough about and don't realize about women, or maybe, the general public does realize this and feels that it's distasteful to discuss these things, discuss these topics, and we just gloss over it. But I'm going to bring some things to light tonight. I'm here, purpose, not permission. I'm here to say the things that people won't say in the most PC, tasteful way that I possibly can. And, in doing so, hopefully, I'm not going to hurt anyone's feelings, because that isn't my intent. Thanks for joining, love. The replay will be on my YouTube channel. Make sure you are subscribed. And I'm talking to the Instagram crowd. I'm also streaming live on YouTube simultaneously. Yeah, I think that I was listening to a podcast earlier today. This is a podcast that I intentionally went back to replay and listen to. This stream happened about a month ago. This is one of my favorite channels. I Never Knew TV. I'm not going to present the video because I don't want to get a copyright strike on my channel. I'm not quite sure yet how that works when you present other creators' content during your StreamYard stream. But what I am going to do is play you some of the audio as I talk through these topics, and I'm going to read you some of the comments. Yeah, I'm in a space in my life where I am just observing and really dialed into my own self-awareness, really hyper vigilant. And I am so hyper vigilant and very psychoanalytical of other people. I watch body language. I see subtle movements. I see subtleties and subtle slights. I pay attention to every word that is said. I pay attention to what isn't said. I pay attention to other people's lives. I analyze their life from top to bottom. From top to bottom. If you are insecure in any way, if you have low self esteem, those are things that you have to work on for yourself. Every single one of us is equipped with our own unique ability, our own beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. All of us are equipped with our own specialness, but it's your job to look in that mirror and find it for yourself. Being jealous of another woman, ladies, doesn't do anything for your life, because that woman is simply going to move herself away from you and go and find a group of people who she can be around comfortably, without having to worry about any sort of just the negativity. There is something in other cultures that's called what is it called? It's the evil eye. We call it in spirituality. In other cultures, they call it bad mind. Bad mind is the nickname for envy and jealousy, and it really is bad mind. It is something that I can't. I don't know how to be jealous or envious of anyone else. I don't know how to want what someone else has. I don't know how to want to be someone else. And this was instilled in me at a very, very early age, very early on. I was poured into. And what I'm really learning and realizing is a lot of people weren't, and that breaks my heart. But as we grow older, as we get out into the workforce, you late teens, early 20s, you really shouldn't be listening to this channel. But if you happen to find yourself here, I really would like to cater to a 25 and older crowd where your frontal lobe is fully developed. But if you are listening to my channel, late teens, early 20s, um, that's the time when you're entering the workforce, trying to figure out, what it is that you want to do for your life. If you are walking the world and you are in a space where you can't find that greatness in you not wanting the greatness to exist in someone else doesn't do anything for you. And I am telling you a hard, tough lesson that you are going to have to learn at some point in your life. You are going to get left behind by everyone. No one cares that you are envious or jealous. No one. You're going to find yourself with no one to look to the left or right, or except for the people who are in the same position in life as you and who aren't elevating and who aren't working on themselves. This is the harsh truth that I have to tell you. This is tough love. If you aren't someone who was taught how to work on yourself, was taught how to go for and achieve whatever it is that you feel you want from life, you have to teach yourself how to do that. You've got to unlearn whatever wasn't given to you, whatever scarcity, whatever hole that is in you. It'll never be filled by wishing bad on someone else or not supporting someone else intentionally because you are jealous, because you are envious, because you wish that were you. Why not you? You don't want it to be them. It can't be you in some instances. It cannot be you, but you don't want it to be someone else. And you wish that person would just lay down and die, because if they just lay down and die and you don't have to see their greatness, somehow, some way, you think that that's going to do something for you, and it isn't. People are just going to go on about their lives. They're going to keep being great. They're going to keep striving for their success. They're going to reach their heights, whatever their heights are. They're going to find their tribe and they're going to exist there. That saying, everybody can't go, that's where that comes from. Everybody can't go. There are some people who just have what is called an it factor. Some people just have it, whatever that it is. There are other people who have other creative gifts and talents. I don't know how to do hair. I do a pretty good job with this pre-designed thingamajig I have going on, right? And this is my favorite so far. I don't really know how to do makeup all that well. There are hairstylists and estheticians. I know two people specifically. A hairstylist, a phenomenal one, a blood relative who's not walking in her gift. She used to do my hair many, many years ago. And another who does makeup pretty well. And again, we all have special talents and gifts. If yours isn't whatever someone else's is, singing, dancing, performing, public performance, public speaking, performing arts, writing, whatever it is, producer, movie producer, musician, if that's not your talent, you have to find what is your talent. We all have it, right? But again, some people have a quality that is called the it factor. Some people just have it. When you walk into a room, we shift the room. The air in the room is different. It's all eyes on you. When you walk into restaurants, you wind up getting your tab covered, your meal paid for, your drinks paid for. Doors open for you easily because of how you carry yourself, because of how you look. A lot of it is pretty privilege. For a lot of gentlemen, it may be, whatever their privilege is, their outward aesthetic, whatever it factor they have. Some of us do have to work incredibly hard for our gifts and talents, or to reach our level of success, whatever it is that we are searching for, whatever it is that we want, whatever our height is, right? When people say, things about Beyonce and this and that, and whatever other musicians, Jay-Z and all these people, right? They're in the Illuminati. I don't understand that. Yeah, there's a level of, let me tell you my opinion about that and be frank. There is a level of, and this is just my personal opinion, There is a level of movers and shakers in Hollywood, quote unquote, the elites. I'm just repeating this. This is what other people say. There is a level of movers and shakers in Hollywood, but let me make this clear. There is a level of movers and shakers in life, period. People who have amassed a certain amount of success, influence, wealth, who have a power circle around them, who have people who move the needle for them, people who they can call to take care of things, so to speak, for them, because they employ so many people, because they flood the market with so much content, because they flood the market with so much money, so much product for the consumer. This is all how the capitalist system works. A lot of people are negatively affected, or I've seen people with these knee-jerk reactions behind certain people who receive a certain level of grace, or maybe it's beyond grace, maybe it's extra favor. That's just the way life works. Life's not fair. And I think the sooner that all of us adults realize that life just isn't fair, the better off we'd be. Some people get more just because of who they are, how they are, and it isn't their fault. And there's nothing you can do about it. I'm just being frank, because this narrative in my own life is getting so tiresome. I'm tired. And that's the part that I think a lot of people do not take into account. The people who are on the receiving end. People are now, Beyonce showed her real hair so long ago. That woman is so, nobody knows her behind closed doors. None of us do. And we're not supposed to, because she's not obligated to share every minute of her life and all corners of her personality with the whole world. She's not obligated. She's obligated to perform and be an entertainer and give us her content. That's what entertainers sign up for. Entertainers, or now the way social media is designed, everybody's a star in their own right, right? Entertainers, content creators, social media influencers, whomever it is that you're seeing in the public eye, we don't sign up to give you our firstborn, our social security number, our home address, our blood type. We don't sign up for that, to give you all of that, right? So it is unfair for anyone to think that Beyonce owes the whole world her full person, who she is as a people are allowed to protect some of the parts of them that are most sacred, right? Their inner thoughts and beliefs, right? This is, again, very revealing for me, because this is one of the first times in my life that I've ever spoken so publicly, so candidly, so honestly about what I really think and how I really feel. I'm normally quiet about things when it comes to this level of depth, and I really am only scratching the surface, because I could say so much more on so many topics that I've already discussed and ones that I'll be discussing in the future. But some levels of these topics, some inner layers, are only for kitchen table talk to be had behind closed doors in safe spaces with those who are like-minded, or those who are legally bound to not go back and repeat the things that you say. Saying all that to say, again, Beyonce has shown her real hair many years ago. That woman has beautiful, long, natural hair. She has been doing rice treatments. I do rice treatments on my own hair and skin. Rice treatments are an ancient Chinese herbal medicine treatment. It really does help to grow black hair. It does. It helps to regrow your edges. Rice treatment it's a known thing, right? Beyonce, she has long hair, super long. Her hair is gorgeous. She has shown her real hair before. She has been on stage. She has been in the public with her real hair before. I think we're so used to seeing all black women with our lace fronts, right? With our hair weave, right? Not wearing our natural hair, that I think it goes over a lot of people's heads. I believe Nicki Minaj also has a beautiful head of hair, super long, right? Um, People are just tearing this woman down. People will call them the Illuminati, as if they haven't worked incredibly hard, right, to get where they're at, as if they haven't earned whatever level of privilege they have. Where there was something that happened many, many years ago where there was someone that was in a car accident, and the public just wanted to know all the salacious details about what happened behind the car accident, but things were covered up. Some things just aren't for public consumption. They just aren't. Um, we need to really, I think John Q. Public does too much pedestalization and idol worship because we don't like ourselves enough, because we don't believe in ourselves enough, because a higher power or a higher presence to look up to in real life and look to for guidance and leadership wasn't provided to us in enough of our homes. We are tribal. Human beings are tribal in nature. We look to our like tribe, right? But if that's not provided to you, we have to look up to something or someone. That's what all of this is. And when we are searching, grasping at straws, looking up to something or someone, and it becomes a stranger, we're then looking at that stranger to be this God that we assigned them to be. We want them to have the personality that we think they have. They're not allowed to ever have a bad day. This idol that we've labeled our role model, our God, right, has to behave. They have to be who you want them to be. And oh my Lord, if they wind up not being that, we are crushed. I think it's unrealistic. It's unfair. I think that it is wild. I think that it is something that society needs to rethink. Every single person walking this earth is a human being first. And we all want the exact same things. We all want health, wellness, love, safety, financial stability, comfortable, peaceful surroundings, and then whatever else is added in addition to that. But we all have, as human beings, the same core needs, the same core fundamentals that we all want, right? That we all strive for, that we all yearn for. Anything outside of that is indeed extra. But if you are envious and jealous of someone's extra, right, because you aren't that, I think that that is a level of, yeah, that's something that has to be re-examined in your own life with you. You are basically communicating to the universe, to God, to whomever gave birth to you, that you are ungrateful for who you are as a person. You're overlooking yourself. You're ungrateful to God for Him creating you uniquely and wonderfully made, because we all are, until the world breaks us. It's up to us to restore ourselves to our factory settings and then work toward whatever it is that we want out of life, honestly. Um I don't want to go into the video just yet, but I do want to play this. I think the inventors and the creators of all of these apps um, knew exactly what they were doing when they created and modeled these apps. I think these apps are um, gift and a curse. I was going to say something a little bit deeper than that. They're obviously a gift and a curse if we're using them in the right way. You will have people who never reach out to you in real life at all, ever. But then will overlook everything that you're doing in your life, right? But you'll be in Beyonce's comments telling her, "Happy birthday, sis." And the album is amazing. I love your new album. As if she's gonna respond to you, hears you, sees you. It's insanity. You'll have a family member or a friend or someone who, you call an associate, someone you love, who's striving for whatever. For example, you'll have a homeboy, a friend who's a rapper or whatever, who just put out a mixtape, or someone who has a podcast, maybe successful or what have you, right? You will be around that person just to be around them. You will ride in their passenger seat of their car, won't offer to chip in, no gas money, no nothing. Um, you don't really like that person that you're hanging out with. A lot of people are just hangers on for the just in case moment, just in case you make it, just in case you get somewhere. Let me hang on and let me halfway pretend like I support you when I really don't. When I really don't even like you, but let me hang around you just in case you get somewhere so I can reap those benefits of that somewhere that you've worked hard to get to. But I'm not going to support you though. I'm not leaving any comments on your podcast. I'm not interacting with your page at all. I'll send you a DM and ask you how you're doing and really expect for you to respond to me. I'll do that. I won't call you on your birthday. I won't really see about you because I really can't stand to see you right now. That's what it really is. That's how that translates to me. And I get away from that immediately. It is dangerous to have someone who is insecure, someone with low self esteem, someone who is envious or jealous around you at in any way, shape, or form, at any proximity, especially not close to you. No one, I don't invite anyone to my home. No one, no one, absolutely no one. My home is my sanctuary. There's so much more I want to say. Oh my goodness grief. I can't. Um, Let me play some of the video and then I'll continue. I want y'all to hear this. Oh gosh, I hope I don't get a copyright strike. All right, hold on.
Again, Baldhead and Red podcast. We get things for everyone tuning in from those times to now. Fari, what reason about today?
Yeah, we're talking about a topic where we're talking about envy and jealousy, seeing? Because a lot of people envious and always jealous of people when them see certain type of accomplishment and things that want make them know so that is so unhealthy for your well-being. And it's something where you not overstand where you are because it's so deep rooted. You need to step back a little bit and understand that envy and jealousy is something that will destroy your life. You know?
No, serious thing. All right, and I want to tell you, we were in Ghana recently with Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa for his camp. And Priest Kalash was out there.
Yes, sir.
Honorable Priest Kalash. And we had private reasonings about this jealousy thing. And we did a reasoning on the for the I Never Knew TV. And I'll put the link in the description so you can check it, right? But before we even get into the detriments of envy or jealousy, two different things, right? We have to remember that being happy for someone else's success is a skill you have to learn.
Yes, ma'am.
I never understood that. I never knew that. That's eye-opening to me. That this is their take and their opinion. As the conversation went on, the gentleman who actually said that is someone who he admitted in this same conversation that he used to be jealous and envious of people. And he had to teach himself how to actually be happy for other people. That is scary to me. In my opinion, if there is someone who has the ability to be envious or jealous of anyone at any time ever, that never goes away. And you are someone who, at some point, sometime, somehow, could possibly become envious or jealous again. So, as far as I am concerned, this is my personal opinion, that type of characteristic, that type of person is someone that I am never going to have around me ever. As soon as I detect envy and jealousy in anyone, I sever ties with them. Or if I am forced to deal with them in a professional capacity that I can't move myself out of, My contact with them is extremely limited. You cannot get me on the telephone. I'm not going out anywhere with you. One on one. We have no dealings outside of our professional dealings, and even those are very limited. I am very serious about that. Jealousy and envy, people have lost their lives behind it. Let me continue with the video.
It's early on. I think we spoke about this a while earlier in episodes, but yeah, Friday with the basketball thing, I used to feel away with certain things. You know, I truly used to feel away, and it's like I really had to learn. People are uncomfortable saying this, but you have to learn. You have to learn to genuinely be happy for someone else.
I never understood that. That was my blind spot my whole life with other people. I never knew that it was that hard. But, and that is the term that people label haters. People are not hating, people are hurting. That is the level of empathy that I had to uncover. I had to really eat. And even though it's an extreme level of empathy, it is because I am a person who's always seeking understanding. I want to seek to understand human beings because we all have to operate in this world together. And the better we operate in this world, the more cohesion we have, the more we're able to get along and everybody can just be happy, right? But I understand that as I get older and as I am becoming more and more self aware and doing more of my own inner work and self work and coming more and more and more into this version of myself, I am learning that no one talks about the extremely evolved, self aware, healing, because healing is not linear and it is never done. Healing, ing, not healed, healed. It's no such thing. There's always new things. There's always new triggers that we're going to uncover about. There's new things that we're going to learn about ourselves. There are nuances that we're always going to be presented with. We're always going to have an opportunity for continual healing as long as we are on this earth, right? But no one actually talks about when you get to a level of self-awareness and a level of self-acceptance and a level of understanding of others and a level of ascension or a level of, whatever is your highest possible self, your highest vibrating version of you, it is almost impossible to exist around certain people, around most people. That's the thing that a lot of chosen ones don't discuss. Non-toxic, non-confrontational, especially on the East Coast, in the northern regions of the East Coast. This is a very rough. I am in New Jersey now. I'm in South Jersey, but there are 45 minutes away from here is a lot of scarcity and poverty, and no one talks about no one talks about how difficult it is, and what we as chosen ones, or we as I can't imagine the level of resilience that you have to have being a pop culture icon, and maintaining your sanity with all of the hate, projection, bullying, the negativity, the naysaying. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. That's why so many of them wind up self-destructing, getting on, becoming addicts, hooked on drugs and alcohol. I have addicts in my family, and some of my blood relatives are in addiction, still living in adult trauma, and are unevolved human beings that just, yeah, it's a wild thing to see. And yeah, we don't talk enough about these things. I'm hesitant because there's a lot of stuff I don't want to say. This is not a channel to be distasteful, messy, or gossiping. Anytime I'm ever using pop culture examples, it is as a case study for food for thought and reference, because so many people, especially social media culture, worship false idols and look to entertainers as God. When God lives inside of you, we all have our own unique individual gifts. We all have our own level of greatness that we're able to achieve if we aspire to it and if we do the work. Yeah, I just couldn't imagine. I had no idea that you have to learn how to be happy for other people. But again, I get it now, you know? Like I said, the internet culture calls it hate. It isn't hate. People are in pain. People are hurting. You can't give someone what you don't have. So let's continue with the video. And I want to fast forward a little bit.
You know what I find strange for you? Sometimes a man envy or jealous or you think you're not even having a success towards your standards. and that's, I think that's so worse.
No. I'm telling you, people can be envious at, or jealous of you at something that you haven't even achieved yet, at something that you're not even fully proud of yet, but they're already, it's bothersome to them. It's dangerous.
It goes back to what you were saying, though. No, it's a real sound you just made because, no, it's a reality. Because remember, a lot of times, man, I learned, I bring up this teaching thing so much because like one of the greatest experience. I really learned like the psyche of people, like really, you know, a broad group. And like the average person has had no accomplishments in their life. Fucks. It's a sad reality, or even someone telling them good job or, you know, you're great or you're successful. They haven't experienced that. So everything is offense to them. So they're in a different place. They don't understand, one, how this goes later, and the reason how much work it takes to actually get things accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
So for them now, it's just like a lucky thing, almost like life picking on them. You get what I'm saying? Like you're lucky and like I'm unlucky. Everything, there's nothing really to do with me because they don't know. Everything is more like these people are lucky or they're just chosen or they're in the right spot or right family or every other story that they give. You know, things just work out for you. All the little comments that people make. Not understanding that, man, this person really been through it. And this person actually stayed with this particular task for the duration of time until they got decent at it.
Knowing people who are envious and jealous. Thanks for joining. I'm actually over on YouTube as well. I'm streaming simultaneously. The entire video will be saved to YouTube. And again, the audio, you can listen to the replay on my podcast where all pods are cast, and make sure you leave a 5-star rating. Yeah. I didn't realize I was so blinded by whatever I was doing in my own life. I have had experiences in my younger days where I sincerely tried to bring other people up. I tried to I have a younger cousin who I took under my wing. She was like my right-hand man. I was the first person to ever take her to get her hair done, and get her hair cut and styled at the hair salon that I used to go to every Sunday. This was in West Philadelphia. We used to sit in the car early in the morning. It was walk-ins only on Sunday. Our hairstylist, her name was Keisha, and we had she used to have a long, long line of women lining up for her on Sundays. I think she didn't open the shop until like maybe 9 or 10 a.m. We would get there. I would leave my house, go and get her, and we would drive over to West Philly and sit in the car and just kiki and laugh. Sometimes we would go back to sleep, just sit in the car at 7 a.m. so that we could secure our spot to be able to get into the hair salon as soon as possible, get our hair done, and get back home. It was like an all-day ordeal, but that was our every Sunday ritual. Later in life, I wound up moving her into my house, tried to have her live with me so that I could physically show her. Because, see, to change someone's life, you have to change their environment. We can't think that we're going to be able to change someone's behavior just by talking to them. That's why, again, children, they do what they see us do and they repeat what they hear us say. In other words, I'm sorry, long story short, I moved her, my little cousin, into my home, tried to show her my lifestyle. I'm getting up. I'm going to work every day. I'm getting up. I have a routine. I'm up every morning, same time, shower, dress, get beautiful. I've been wearing high heels since as long as I can remember. I wear high heels literally every day, even with jeans. I wear high heels every single day. I have a high arch. So flat shoes actually hurt my feet when I wear them for too long. I only wear sneakers when I'm at the gym or working out or walking, and I'm only wearing flat, like, other like Uggs or whatever else in the winter time, fashionable boots and things like that, right? I wear high heels every day. I'm trying to show her an example of femininity. She didn't have that. She had an example of something else. Growing up, she had an example of something else. So I'm trying to show her work ethic, responsibility. This is how you work to get what you want in life. I'm showing her how I operate. Don't have random people coming in and out of my house. It became a nightmare. Um, Again, the conditioning. I believe it was too late. I believe that she hadn't had enough of her own personal, just success stories, and just a drilled upbringing where she was able to be shown something other than what she was e- experiencing under the roof that she lived in. Usually, when you change someone's environment, when you change their circumstances, if you get them at an early enough age, and you keep them in that newer, fresher environment, and you continually show them repetitive, healthy behaviors. This is the way that society operates. You work for what it is that you want. You guys have heard me say numerous times, those who have been following me on my journey thus far, in whatever previous videos, my car rant videos that I've done, whatever reels I've done, you've heard me say multiple times, I looked up, I researched, I studied, I read, I YouTube, Google University for my book to even launch my brand. I hired an attorney to trademark my LLC. I studied under certain other groups on the internet, other content creators. I watch other people. I pick up on, I listen to the buzzwords. I hear every single thing. Everything that I have learned thus far has been through trial and error. I have no problem telling you all what my weak points are, what my weak areas are, because I'm well aware of my strengths. And I know that once I'm able to get a really good stride, really, really, really be consistent, really, really, really jump into the algorithm, I'll get where I'm going. I know that to be 100% the truth, right? I'm not a person who needs anyone on the sideline standing with pom poms. I don't need a cheerleader. I think that it begs the question, are leaders born or are leaders created? It begs that question. I have been toiling over that in my mind for a really long time. I don't know if leaders are born or created. I really don't. I don't know if it's something that is in our genes, in our DNA. I have greatness all through my DNA, all in my genes. And my track record has always been winning, winning, winning. There are things that I literally don't share. Of course, not on social media, but there are wins and accomplishments and achievements and things that I just, um, and this is the sad part, that really, you know, a lot of average people really don't um, have any empathy for. There comes a time in your life where if you're not in a circle of winners, you have no one to share your good news with. If you're not in a circle of winners or people who are doing more than you, people who are above you, you have no one to share your wins with, because there will be a rain cloud cast over your sunshine. And it really does knock the wind out of you. It really does. It's like, goodness grief, can't you be happy for me? But again, those who are on the other side of it, on the receiving end, right, of the energy, and experiencing in real time what that feels like, it's a horrible feeling. It really is. It's a horrible feeling. But those of us who experience what that is in real time, in real life, um, have to develop a level of tough skin resilience. We have to develop a level of empathy along with our assuredness, along with our confidence. There has to be a level of empathy and kindness toward others, and there has to be a level of a higher vibration of love and support to those who, for whatever reason, feel like your wins mean their failure. No one takes that into account. No one takes into account. Let me play a little bit more of the video and then we'll get into that.
I think the end result is where everybody look at that, and then you look at some of the end result. And if you actually step back 1 second and think and ask yourself the question, could I reach that level? Or am I prepared or have the resources at my foot, at my fingertips to reach this particular level?
That's the thing. A lot of people are unwilling to do the work. A lot of people are unwilling to be patient. A lot of people are unwilling to keep at it and be resilient. A lot of people stop and give up, before you actually get to where you're going. Listen, I have been discouraged along this journey until I actually really, really paid attention to the internet. I had to study it. I didn't get it. I didn't get that it was an algorithm. I didn't get that the whole entire thing was an illusion. I didn't get it. So now I got it. So it's like, oh, okay, I got this. Now I know what to do. In addition to surrounding my brand with other things. Okay, great. I got this now. This is all an illusion. None of it's real. None of it's real. So all I have to do is get over my stage fright, so to speak, right? And just pull up my talking points and just create my content and be consistent. And I'll get to where I want to go. My name is already in rooms that my feet haven't entered yet. I got another confirmation last night. My name is in rooms that my feet haven't entered yet. People really need to pardon me, y'all. I think having a level of connection with God, really being able to hear God when he tells you to stop, hear God when he tells you to pull back, hear God when he tells you to go. And then when he tells you to go, make sure everything else around you is smooth and people are out of the way who don't need to be there, who are going to be a demonic distraction, impede your progress, rain on your parade, get in your way. People don't listen enough to their discernment. People don't listen enough to their inner gut, your higher consciousness, right? And again, it is not for me to explain to anyone. There are people who are like, listen, I understand we winners want everyone to win. Thanks for joining, love. Winners want people to win. We got it, right? I got that part. I got it. Winners want people to win. And yeah, I'll be over there soon enough, right? There's a lot I want to say there that I'm not going to say. There's a lot. Again, some things are kitchen table talk. Some things are conversations that need to be had in private only to gain a better understanding. That is why, again, I don't ask. I don't ask anyone's permission. I do not ask anyone, what's my next step? What do you think I should do? I'm just trying to gain an understanding, right? That's what I think more of us need to do. Stop asking strangers to guide your steps. Strangers don't know you. Strangers don't know what you want for your life. Strangers don't know your abilities. Strangers don't know the plans that you have already written down. Strangers don't know what's really, really, really going on. Strangers can't advise you unless you're actually sitting down with them. They have a rapport with you. They've gotten to know you. They're your actual mentor. You guys have had actual brainstorming sessions. I don't listen to anyone except my inner gut, my inner spirit, and God. I think if more people did that and were confident enough in listening to God, knowing when you need to be in your waiting season, knowing when, okay, now it's time for me to go. Now it's time for me to go because I've gained an understanding. Plus, all of the other steps that I needed to complete have been done thus far. So I've made it to this step. Now it's the next step. Now it's this next step. Okay, now I can jump over that hurdle and then surround it with everything else. Now it's time, right? I've gained an understanding. I see what this is now, right? Not enough of us. A lot of us rely too much on guidance, support. That's how you can get destroyed. That's how you can get torn down. That's how you can get taken advantage of. That's how you can get scammed, wind up giving away your life savings. That's how we get into these MLM, these Ponzi schemes, and what are you, the multi-level marketing, all that stuff. Success is not overnight. There is no get rich quick. It doesn't exist. You can't lose weight overnight. There is no pill. You have to do the work. You have to get down on the floor and do the work. You have to drink your water. You have to put the fork down. It takes time. That takes consistency. That takes consistent meal planning. Being mindful of what you consume, being mindful of what you eat, being mindful of your diet, being mindful of everything you put in your mouth. You don't have to count calories, so to speak, but get a ton of fruits and veggies, lean meats if you do eat meat. I'm a pescatarian in particular. I only eat certain fish, right? Yeah, but we want everything overnight. We want everything quick. We want somebody else to come do the work for us, or we're trying to explain to someone else what our process is. Okay, I'm trying to understand this, and I'm at the same time doing a bunch of other stuff. But let me get back to this video. Yeah, I want you to hear. I want you guys to hear this part. This is very important.
People fight because they felt the way about what you was doing.
Okay, hold on.
Here's what I am saying, right? Even though it might not be a lot of people fall for being envious and grudgeful and all these different things because them caught up in a system or them probably programmed that particular way. I don't care. Because here's why I don't care. No, here's why I don't care. Because I don't care about if it's their fault or not. I care about the fact that people are being envious and grudgeful and they will take your life. I'm telling you that. I've seen, the most aggressive people on earth are the envious and grudgeful people. I'm so aggressive to the point that they will take your life or try to stop your success just so they can ravish and have fun around you not being successful.
So. I know people that used to rob people because they used to grudge people.
Yes, man.
No, seriously, like real stick up people fight because they felt the way about what she was doing.
Of course.
So I know what you're saying, right? But even within that context, right? I hear what you're saying. I'm not defending you.
He's laughing, and there's nothing funny about this topic at all.
That envious can become life threatening.
It will,
right? No.
It will. Jealousy and envy will absolutely become life threatening. I'm going to say this last thing and then I'm going to wrap it up because I don't want this video to go over an hour. Ladies, you all, I'm going to say the thing that no one wants to hear said. There are some incredibly beautiful women in this world who are quite rare. I'm one of them. When I walk in my area, in my immediate area, and again, I'm concerned about myself. I don't compare myself to other ladies. There are beautiful ladies everywhere. There are beautiful women everywhere, right? In my particular area, in the spaces that I frequent, I tilt the room when I walk into the room. I get things handed to me. I do not have to ask for a lot. I was at a networking conference. This was a long time ago. Not super long, but this was maybe 6 weeks ago. I'd have to look back at my calendar to see when that was. I was at a networking conference. Afterward, we went out for ice cream. It was me and a woman and a man. So it was three of us. We went to Cold Stone, and that's something I was definitely cheating in that moment. With the ice cream, I mean, we went to Cold Stone. Trying to think. I want to skip a lot of details because again, I don't like to be super detail oriented about certain situations in my personal life. I will share some, but not go too deep because people understand life from their level of perception, and it starts to look messy. It starts to look to others as a bragging thing when it's not that at all. I'm just relaying a story to help paint a picture and to give you color, right? But I there's a lot of backstory to that. The circumstances of how I even got there had me on a pedestal in that environment. So there was already underlying envy brewing, unbeknownst to me. There was a little bit of a situation, a little bit of a some tension at the ice cream shop. So I left the shop. I was making my way home, and the girl called me. She's asking, "Are you okay?" You know, blah blah blah. I'm sorry about what happened. You know, I didn't see that coming. Blah blah blah. But she did see it coming. She knew what type of person this person was. She had already had her own encounter with this individual, and she didn't warn me. Um, we go to, she said, pull over at the next exit. We'll go sit down. We'll talk this out. And, you know, I just want to make sure you're okay. I don't want you to continue to drive home and be upset. So we go to a place that I'd never been before, in a neighborhood that I frequent often. It's a really nice neighborhood. It was a random outing that happened after an outing that was never supposed to even happen, but that's how God works. We go into this space. I'm just gonna pardon me, y'all. The space will remain nameless. And I'm not saying anything in full detail about the situation because it's not for public consumption. We go into this space and we sit down. We have, you know, we order food. So we're waiting for our food to come. We have our beverages. There was someone in there already who I knew who the person was. I recognized them when we walked in the door. So